You're listening to Keeping It 100 with Mel and Bruce, sponsored by the 100 Black Men of Las Vegas. I'm Mel Tillar, your host. Today's guest is a member of the 100 Black Men, and we are celebrating him today. His name is Kelvin Watson. Kelvin, welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing today, Mel?
Hey, I'm doing great. Kelvin is, as many of you know, the executive director of the Las Vegas Clark County Library District. But we're not here to talk about the library right now. We're here to talk about something that recently happened to him. He was inducted into the Lincoln University, that's Lincoln University in Missouri, ROTC Hall of Fame. And so now I have to refer to him as a Hall of Famer. Congratulations, Kelvin.
All right, thanks, Mel.
So tell us about your journey to becoming a Hall of Famer.
So my journey actually started in high school, where I joined the Army Reserves the summer between my junior and senior year on what's called the delayed entry program.
Okay.
And so I went to basic training, and that summer that's how I spent my 8 weeks of vacation. And
you became an enlisted member.
I was an enlisted
of the United States Army. Okay.
Yep, enlisted as a I was in E2, so a PV2, or E2 is depending on what you're looking at pay scale wise, or but I did have my mosquito wings, as some people would call them. And this was a way, Mel, for me to help pay for school via GI Bill. That was the initial plan.
Okay.
Right. I came back from basic training. As I said, I'm a senior in high school, and it was actually my Army reservist recruiter that informed me, told me about the ROTC scholarship opportunities. Was not aware of these opportunities. I applied for the scholarship and received two. One, a 4-year ROTC scholarship.
I don't want to interrupt you here.
Go ahead.
For those who are listening, this opportunity is available to you if you're young enough. This opportunity is available to your children. So while he's telling his story, understand we are telling you this for a reason, because we want you to know there are different ways to skin this cat. There are different ways to get this education. There are different ways to start a career. This is one of them, and you can follow the same path. Go ahead.
Thanks, Mel. And so the ROTC scholarship was a 4-year to any historically Black college and university.
Wow.
And I also received a 3-year to attend any college that was offering ROTC. So that was your Lincoln universities, for example, which was a school that I was interested in, being from St. Louis. I decided, of course, on the 4-year, because that was the one that is definitely much more economical, and I didn't have to, come out of pocket. Let me tell you a little bit about the ROTC scholarship, some more things about the ROTC scholarship. The scholarship not only pays for your room and board, tuition, your meal plan, but also we received initially it was $100 a month stipend while school is in, and then and then it actually was increased to like $150. So I'm not sure exactly what it is, but you get a stipend as well as part of the scholarship to help with expenses while you're in college, which is $150 is a lot of money for a college student.
That's really important. That's big time. Talk to me about the qualifications to qualify for the scholarship.
Yeah, so to qualify for the scholarship, and I'll give it from my own perspective, was extracurricular activities in high school. So, for example, I was an athlete. I played football. I actually was on various social high school committees while I was there. Had My grades were pretty good, probably B plus average.
Okay, so
Ha-
you didn't have to have straight A's or anything like
Nope.
that.
No, didn't have to have straight A's. I think it was really more, it's really more focused on the extracurricular activities that that you are participating in high school, different what you might what you might consider leadership opportunities, right? So
Yes.
so I started a club along with some of my other high school classmates. We started our own club at our high school, which was called the Black Cultural Association. I attended a desegregated high school, so it was predominantly not many African Americans students who attended this school. So
Okay.
again, those were the things that helped. It also helped, I think, helped me that I was also a reservist already, that I had already joined and was a part. I had already gone the basic training, so all of that helped with the scholarship packet. Be in good health, as well,
Oh
and
yeah. Oh
able to
yeah.
pass, be physically able to pass.
Gotta go run, gotta do those push-ups,
Yes,
sit-ups. Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But you were on the football team, so you were already in great shape.
Yes. And so that those were some of the things. And so I selected Lincoln University though, as a school. It was, Lincoln, it was 2 hours away from where I grew up in St. Louis. I had never been to Lincoln University. Actually, I had not probably been to any HBCU campus at all.
None.
And none. Did never visit. I never visited the campus of any of the schools. I selected Lincoln along with Wilberforce University in Ohio. I believe that was one of the other schools that I was interested in, and so I went to school, and took a train from St. Louis to Lincoln. That was the first time I stepped foot on campus, was when school started, and began my that matriculation into the process of becoming a ROTC uh, candidate as part of the scholarship program.
Well, I
You
want to
don't.
hear more about that. Let's tell folks that we are talking to Kelvin Watson. He is the executive director of the Las Vegas Clark County Library District. He has just been named a member of the Lincoln University ROTC Hall of Fame. We're talking about how his journey, how he traveled from just being a regular high school student to getting into the Hall of Fame, getting into ROTC, getting a full ride scholarship. Listen, I want you all to understand these opportunities are still here. The same thing that he did, your kids can do. Start thinking about it. How do we make this happen? How do we get our children educated for free? How do our children start working the system and becoming an educated member of our society? Mr. Hall of Famer, continue with your story.
All right. So that's where it started, Mel. So started as a college student. The obligations as part of the scholarship included my attending additional classes that through ROTC,
Yes.
and also I had to attend physical training 3 days a week was the obligation, and then on one day a week, this is my memory coming back, on one day a week, we had to wear our uniform and participate in different drills as well.
All
And
right. All right.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that was a part of it, and through ROTC, you learn how to march, you learn how to do all of these things, but you're a college student, but you then you just have these extra opportunities as well through ROTC, right? These military things that I had to do, which,
Yes.
to be honest, did not add much more time on to my years in college. I started school in 1990. The fall of 1990, I graduated with my degree in business, under and I have a major in business, minor in military science, which I achieved by finishing the ROTC program.
Love that.
And I finished in December of 1994 with all the additional classes that I had to take for ROTC.
That's fantastic. Okay, so talk to us a little bit about your military career.
Okay. So I am a commissioned officer in the U.S. Army Infantry, was where I was. They selected me, I say, because I actually infantry was not actually one of my selected choices, but they selected me, and so I was able to uh, serve 2 years of active reserve,
Yes.
active Army service, actually. So I started getting paid like as soon as I got my commission. And I served the remainder of my 8-year commitment in the reserves. So I did 2 years of active service, 6 years in the reserves, and so finished up in 2002. Um, my uh, my jobs in the military included Gold Bar recruiter. So my initial job was a Gold Bar recruiter, and with that role, I worked for the U.S. Army ROTC program on Lincoln University's campus, recruiting future ROTC uh, scholarship candidates, as well as students who are already attending Lincoln or other colleges or community colleges that are interested in going through the ROTC program on a non-scholarship basis. So I did that for about 5 months. Then I was assigned to go to Fort Benning, Georgia. That's where the home of the infantry school is located. And so
Yes.
I
Yeah.
spent a few months at Fort Benning, went through mechanized infantry training, the Bradley. I was a Bradley commander. Finished my time at Bradley, and then I was stationed at Fort Stewart, Georgia, which is near Savannah, and that's where my duty assignment, where I served as a platoon leader, and I also worked at the battalion. Actually, I worked at the battalion, which is battalion headquarters
Yes.
as an assistant S4, which is a logistics officer. So I was so those were a few of my jobs in the military, and then in the reserves, I served as I continued on actually in the transportation unit in Nashville, Tennessee, uh, as a platoon leader. Actually, was my role.
Okay, fantastic. What qualified you to enter into the Hall of Fame?
So interestingly enough, as you can see and hear uh, from my journey, that I did not go into the Hall of Fame as as the other gentlemen who went in with me, the other 6 who went in with me, who are currently still serving
Ah.
as lieutenant colonels and colonels. Actually, I went in as a mister, so the only mister on the list, and that my the reason I was selected was not only because of the work in my military career, but actually the career that I've had since the military, which is working in libraries, working for the federal government, and many achievements that I've had the opportunity to receive over the years. And so it's really what ROTC, what it taught me was
Yes.
the leadership skills, the commitment, the integrity, all of those things and more, that I've been able to use as a leader outside of the military. And so those were the reasons that I was selected, Mel. Again, along with my the other cohort of gentlemen who are still serving as I said,
Yes.
as
Yeah.
colonels and lieutenant colonels, and they're still continuing on in their military careers, 20 plus years and more.
You talked to us about what you learned in ROTC. Talk to us about what you learned by attending HBCUs. And you have 2 degrees from HBCUs.
Yes. So I have my undergraduate degree in business, and my master's where I got my bachelor's at, of course, Lincoln University. I received
Right.
my master's at North Carolina Central University in library science, another historically Black college university. And so, twofold. I'll say what I learned in ROTC, and then I'll share the HBCU experience. What I learned in ROTC was a lot of things. I learned how to use the right fork. Actually, they taught us how to use the right fork.
That's true. Yes,
ROTC,
yes,
for
yes.
example, right? They taught us how to manage how to manage money. For example, they taught us how to lead individuals. They taught us how to be servant leaders. They taught us how to not only lead, but that to be the best leader, you need to be a good follower as
Yes,
well, right?
yes,
And
yes.
so that's what I learned in ROTC. I learned to work as together as a team to accomplish things, but also my individual contributions to that effort as well. Um, and doing that at an HBCU provided me an opportunity to have an experience that I don't think I would have had at a non HBCU institution. I just was at homecoming 2 weeks ago at Lincoln University. I hadn't been back to homecoming in many years. And it was truly like a family reunion, right?
Yes, yes,
This is the HBCU experience for me was a family experience. My roommate, I had two roommates during my time living in the dorm, and I got to spend the weekend with my roommate at homecoming. My first roommate, my second roommate was actually at not only my commissioning when I got commissioned in 1994, but he also drove from Kansas City to participate in my Hall of Fame induction. So when
oh,
I when
that's
I say
nice,
that
that's
that's
nice. Yes,
so you can see, Mel,
yes.
that's what happens. You build bonds. Not that I don't know if you can, I'm assuming you could do this at other places too, but for me as an African American man, having the HBCU experience, having the family experience, that's the support of ROTC is different at an HBCU because uh, they prepared us for life,
Yes, yes.
outside of the university experience.
So you've been wonderful with your time. I know you're very busy. What advice would you leave with our listeners today?
My advice would be, that if you're looking at, if you're a student, you're a parent, you're a grandparent, you're an uncle,
Yes.
aunt,
Yeah, yeah.
friend, that you consider, HBCUs first of all,
Yes.
but that you also, when you're looking at opportunities to pay for college, that this is, as you mentioned earlier, the ROTC scholarship is just another means. The service academy is another means, and the things that they prepare you for after college and after your service sets you up, I believe, for success in life.
Yes, it does. HBCUs, we are so proud of those who have graduated from HBCUs. This gives me a moment to brag. Dr. Thomas Law was my uncle, and he was the president of St. Paul's University in Lawrenceville, Virginia, and also the president of Virginia State University. And so we are very proud of the contribution that he made to HBCUs. I'm also a proud member of the United States Marine Corps, retired from the United States Marine Corps as an officer also. So the military gives you opportunities, HBCUs gives you opportunities, ROTC gives you opportunities. Listen, if you want to make it, there are opportunities for you. If you want your children to make it, there are opportunities for you. And Mr. Kelvin Watson is a prime example of how you can use HBCUs, ROTC, the military, and become extremely successful in life. He's doing a fabulous job, a member of the 100 Black Men of Las Vegas, doing wonderful work in our organization, doing wonderful work at the library, helping our community. There's some opportunities. And if your children or if you are not doing anything, there's nobody to blame. Listen, there are opportunities. Give us a call. Talk to individuals who understand that there are resources out there and want to help you get those resources. So this has been a wonderful conversation. We want to congratulate once again Kelvin Watson for
Thank you, Mel.
being inducted into the ROTC Hall of Fame. Mr. Hall of Famer, I'm very proud of you, my man.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, Mel.
You've been listening to Keeping It 100 with Mel and Bruce, sponsored by the 100 Black Men of Las Vegas, and that's Keeping It 100.